Merry meet. Okay, I just decided to do another video because I really am this bored. And I should probably actually be doing something productive, but I can't be bothered. It's Saturday. Oh, and by the way, it's my dad's birthday. Yeah, so I probably should be doing something for him. Well, actually, we did kind of make him lunch and give him stuff, so you know what, that's sorted for today. For another year. Okay. Well, damn it, I've forgotten what the hell this video was even going to be about anyway. Oh yes, I remember again. I was going to make this video several months late because a few months ago, well, it's really about how not all people are horrible to someone just because they're pagan. And it's because a few months ago, for Samhain, I did a ritual at Guides and a big talk about Samhain, and they took it really, really well. I mean, honestly, they were absolutely amazing. They took in everything I said. There were loads of questions at the end, and I got questions even after that and everything. It was, really nice, and of course the people around about where I live, most of them, well, actually a few of them. Okay, no one in my year. Well, okay, saying that, quite a few people in my year. In the village where I live, and the village near it, basically everyone at Guides is nice. Okay, because a lot of the girls go to Guides, and all the people that age are nice. Actually, a lot of the younger kids in the village where I live are nice. The older kids, some of them are nice, and the ones that I really come into contact with, most of them aren't. Saying that, I do have lots of very good friends who are all absolutely amazing, but yeah, the majority of people are dicks. But so guys, I just decide that I will. Well, I thought it'd be quite good to talk about Samhain, and of course I'm calling it Samhain. Everyone else is saying traditions of Halloween. And so I asked Liz, that's the guide leader. I've just quit Guides because I'm 14 now and I've decided to go to a singing group instead. But that's not the point. So I asked Liz if it'd be okay if I would, do a presentation on Samhain, because for one thing it's the most important Sabbath. For another thing, I think a lot of people know that it does have Celtic origins. They just don't know exactly what those origins are, and no one really understands that the Celts are pagan. And they also don't really understand what paganism is. Now, I was given a specific criteria of not being allowed to really talk about magic or spells or witchcraft or paganism or Wicca, because some of the kids might go home and tell their parents, we were learning about witchcraft today, and their parents would throw a fit, which probably wouldn't make Guides look too good. So I wasn't really allowed to talk about that, although really by the end of it, it was hard. It was really hard to not use those words, and so I did anyway. But yeah, so basically what we did was I came in my ritual robes, and I had a candle which we didn't light, and I had my wand for air, of course. Basically I had all my tools, and I got 4 people to help me. One of my friends, well, someone I was friends with at the time, took the place of air because I couldn't find anyone else that, remotely knew even the basics. Of course, 3 of the people had read the House of Night series. Actually, all of them had, but they'd all read the House of Night series, which is actually quite accurate, surprisingly enough, as far as it can be. Of course, it is still a fiction series, but yeah, it's quite accurate. It's very accurate, actually. And so they had a vague idea of what they were doing. Basically, we cast the circle and then called the quarters. And basically, I would say whatever. I'm pretty sure I called on the angels of each element and direction because everyone likes angels, okay? Basically, if I'd called on the fairies, which I do sometimes, people would have thought I'm a lot more insane than I actually am. So I called on angels because there's angels in pretty much every religion, so that keeps everyone happy. Well, there's angels in lots of religions anyway. Not every religion, I wouldn't say that. I don't know every religion in the world, and I wouldn't claim to, so I can't possibly say that there are in every religion. Okay, that's not the point. And then each person representing each element repeated after me, and then I invoked the goddess and the god. Who was it I invoked again? I can't quite remember. Anyway, and actually I can remember it was Aradia and Anubis. I wasn't specific to the Sabbath or anything. Well, I suppose Anubis is the god of, well, protector of the dead. So that fits in. And then I just got everyone to sit down, and I spent ages and ages talking about every little aspect of Samhain, and I tried to get in as much general information as possible. I mean, it's hard to fit a lot of information into a small time space, but everyone paid attention and everyone seemed to enjoy it. And then we got up again and thanked the deities and closed the quarters, and then we closed the circle. And then, so then we were still standing in the circle at the end anyway. And so then I just asked for questions, and everyone seemed to understand what I'd said, and they were asking questions developing on that, because I'd been talking about the whole communicating with the dead side of Samhain, and why it's not a good idea to use Ouija boards, and people started asking me about Ouija boards. It was really good how they picked up on what I said, and I had mentioned colour correspondences earlier on, and one of the leaders asked me if that was why my current ritual robes, the neckline is a V-neckline, and it's kind of like a square neck. Yes, it's a square neckline, and then it's got beads going down in a V shape down the start of the bodice, and they're all different coloured beads, and it's a really nice pattern. But one of the leaders asked me if, with the colour correspondences, was that why I was wearing all these different coloured beads on it. And it was so cool how people picked up on things like that. I just felt really, really proud of everyone there for actually understanding what I was talking about, because it is a lot to get your head round. I felt so pleased with that. I'm so glad that everyone enjoyed it and that they were also open-minded about it. And no one objected to any of it either. And yeah, it was really good. It was definitely something that I wouldn't mind doing again. And I think that a lot of them would enjoy it again too. Which, it's nice, definitely. How long have been talking about this? Not too long actually. Yeah, so the point is that not everyone is close-minded about paganism. And I have talked to a lot of people who are genuinely interested in it, and some of them have asked me for help getting started and everything, and I've been more than happy to, of course, as I would, because I think that's really, I wouldn't claim to say that I'm adept at anything in paganism, because I'm not a professional, but I am pagan and I've been researching for over a year now, so I've got a fair amount of resources which I can, lend people and tell them where to buy things and what kind of books that I've read that I found particularly helpful and things like that. And I think that's really kind of, you know, that's really part of the duties of being pagan, I would say, that to help other people and helping people find their path is still helping them. And, if they're interested in it, don't dictate to them what they should read. I have started warning people against certain books that haven't helped me at all and have actually got me off on the wrong foot before. And I have pointed them in the direction of books that I found helpful, but in no way are those books that everyone will find helpful. The books that didn't help me may help someone else. And so, it's just a personal thing, really. I wouldn't dictate anything has to be read because, I'm not the one going on their path. I'm just trying to help them find their path because they've asked for my help, if you get what I mean. Really, it's just important to help people if they ask for it. That's how I see it anyway. Okay, right. Really? Yeah, I think that's all, really. Actually, I managed to stay on subject for an entire video. I'm quite proud of myself. Great. Okay, so until next time, blessed be.